Good afternoon, greetings. This is Passionate Bliss, and I am going to now be reviewing for you Married at First Sight on Peacock. Um, the concept of Married at First Sight, I do like that concept of Married at First Sight into the fairy tale fantasy that women are fed as children. When we have seen Snow White, we've seen Cinderella, we've seen the Princess and the Pea, we've seen the Princess and the Frog, we've seen Mulan, we've seen all these fairy tales. Women in society in America are just cultivated to think from childhood, infancy on, that we're going to be wives and mothers and we're going to have this fairy tale fantasy and live happily ever after. And we keep striving to find that. Marriage after marriage, boyfriend after boyfriend, date after date. We keep looking for that. And so, of course, when we engage in cinema, when we engage in television, and including reality TV, we are still looking to see the same thing that we have been culturally conditioned to believe in. Okay? Side note, men are not conditioned that way. They look for women primarily to function in their lives as cooks, maids, nannies, sex workers, and whatever useful purposes they find for you. But women, this comes for us dressed up in a fantasy and a fairy tale. So we really do approach the dating market from two different aspects and two different components. But again, we watch these shows and we're looking for the fairy tale. We want this woman to find happily ever after. And we are looking for this man to show up and prove that he's a knight who can value her and protect her and provide for her and give her the fairy tale fantasy. So we've come here again looking to be fed this fantasy. And these people, when you hear the women talk, that is what they are looking for. Again, I'm seeing the same theme, that these women are looking for fantasies and fairy tales. I hear the men saying, oh, my life is perfect. I just need a woman to plop into the middle of it. A great looking girl to plop into the middle of what my life I have set up. And this woman is looking for, again, the man to come and sweep her off her feet. So one of the biggest standouts that I noticed for this year is that we have new coaches, new therapists, new matchmakers. What happened to the other ones? Honestly, the last two seasons were so horrible, I believe they began to blame the coaches. The season before, nobody was together. And I also think that the final season, before this one, nobody ended up together. Again, 2 years in a row where none of the couples succeeded. At some point, and I even wondered during both of those seasons, why did they put these two together? What was it that they said in their interviews that makes them think that those two were going to work out? Clearly they're not. And so I feel that one thing I noticed is that these matchmakers are very good at telling you and showing us why they put these people together. So I can understand for each of these couples why they are together. Let's see. So I'm kind of liking their thought process of these two coaches already. I'm kind of already liking their thought processes. Even though I did like the personality of the other coaches, I often didn't understand why they made those decisions. I think they made those decisions because they like the people. They would meet with the man and like him, and they just went looking for somebody for the man. Or they would meet with the woman and like her, and just went looking for somebody for this woman, but not necessarily saying, are they matched? One thing that I found was an issue the last two seasons before this one as well, is that the couples were often not honest. They were saying, they didn't care about the race when they did. I don't care if they're fit, if they don't have to be in perfect shape. And then they get there and say, I'm not attracted to you. You got too much of a belly, stuff like that. And these people weren't honest. One girl, the man needed to have money, and this guy was living in his parents' basement, and it triggered her, coming from a poverty background, that she could never take him seriously. And so, and then also I felt like, this was not taken into consideration, and they need to, even though they're doing it at first sight, they want what they see to look good to them. And those coaches, I feel like last couple of seasons were not honest about what these people needed physically. Okay. And so, and also I felt like the contestants themselves either didn't emphasize it or it never came up, but they cared more than they said they did. So this season, I feel like that is one of the major differences. Number one, I can tell why they put all these couples together. And number two, I can see that they tried to meet these people's physical needs. The only one I think is going to get in trouble is this woman that said that she is a sapiosexual. Now, sapiosexual is somebody who they will not be turned on by you unless you're intellectually or mentally stimulating. I've heard a lot of people say that, and it is not true. You can tell by the choices they made that that is not true. They are looking for the physical first. And if you know that you need to have a very physically fit sapiosexual, then say that. First of all, that means you're not sapiosexual. Because, matter of fact, and I can go ahead and discuss them. Let me go ahead and bring up the couples. I'll discuss them first, primarily because they're black. Now, if over time I stop talking about these couples, it's because I'm not interested in them. And I'm always going to be interested into the black couples to the end. So that's a given already. Sean and Nikki. Sean is the 48-year-old doctor who's a professor. Nikki is the 47-year-old HR exec who makes a nice, comfortable 6 figures. A beautiful woman, who claims that she is a sapiosexual. That means she's not going to be turned on by you unless you are mentally and intellectually stimulating to her. Now, this lady, I do not believe that she's a sapiosexual, a true one, because if she was a true sapiosexual, she would have been turned on by this man with that letter that made her cry so much and the necklace that she received. She would have been ready, willing, and open to him without seeing him at all. And that's not the case, because when she got up at that altar, she was clearly disappointed in what she was seeing. If she was a true sapiosexual, she'd have been still smiling. Should have been like, okay, he don't look like what I thought. But the man is not ugly. He's not hard to look at. So she should have still been giddy and elated if she was an actual, true sapiosexual, but she's not. So from now on, she needs to stop lying and saying she's a sapiosexual. Just say, I like a good-looking, fit, handsome man, but if he's an idiot, I'm out. That's what she needs to say. He's got to be intellectual or funny. Quit saying you're a sapiosexual because you're not. The guy, Sean, I have a red flag with him. I feel like this man is a closeted gay man. But I've seen him tone it down. But when he was initially talking and nobody else was there, I was getting closeted gay man. But I saw that when she was present, he turned down that sugar and he turned up a little bit more masculine. So I'm waiting to see his friends. If he has a gay male friend in his friend group, I will at that point be convinced that he is an actual gay man looking for a beard, or maybe he wants to have children, because gay men want to be fathers too. And they also want good mothers to raise their children. So a gay man will marry a straight woman and plan a whole family with her just because he wants to be a father, only to leave 10 or 12 years down the road, or 20 in some cases. So I feel like this is a closeted gay man who wants to be a father. It feels like he has a lot to offer, a lot to give, and probably will be a great dad. But I'm going to reserve judgment before I say that. But if he has one gay friend, one gay best friend, I will know this is a gay man. So that's my red flag for him. Her, I don't really see any red flags. It's just whether or not she can open up enough to give him a chance to prove to her that, to get attached to his personality. Because it seems like he has a sense of humor. He's very witty. The banter exchange is very stimulating, so she will like that. She does like his PhD. So I feel like this can work if she gives him a chance. This can work, and she could be very happy if she is willing to, if she's able to build a physical desire based on his personality. And he needs to ramp down the sexuality until she ramps it up. His past already tried to tell him. Let her set the pace on that. You ain't got to ask for no kiss. You ain't got to ask for nothing else. Let her set the pace on it. Just let her know that she can feel free to kiss you whenever she wants. So this one is on shaky ground. This is a risky pairing, but it could actually work. And I do understand why they put them together. They put them together based on their lifestyle and her saying that she was a sapiosexual. But their lifestyle and their social circles will be the same. He will look good at the office party. He will not embarrass her in front of her coworkers. She will make him look good at the company parties, and she will not embarrass him in front of his coworkers. So I do like that pairing, and hopefully they can survive. So let's see. The next couple that I have on my list to look at is Marissa and Adam. Adam is the tall, blonde, white male who lives on the lake and has a jet ski and goes everywhere. In my opinion, this man should not have been selected for this show at all. He's tall, he's attractive. I mean, he has a good job. That doesn't mean that he's suitable to be anybody's husband. I don't think he should be anyone's husband. This man looks like he is, in my opinion, possibly, probably red pill. This man looks like he is critical. He looks like he is demanding. And I think he's going to be low on feeding her emotional needs. I think he's emotionally unavailable. And I've watched 3 episodes. I'm glad I watched them all back to back. Because I done got to the point where I've met all the couples and I've got through all the weddings. And I've seen them in the matchups. Okay? This man is the only one I suspect flat out the gate is red pill. Which is good. Because the red pill men are just ruining these reality TV dating shows. Matter of fact, they ruin the planet, actually. But this man, his first red flag for me was his family not showing up. Not one single person. He got a sister. That's the biggest red flag of all. And his sister says she ain't coming. And ain't giving no good reason why she couldn't come. She ain't doing this. This is on TV. This is ridiculous. His family has zero support for him at all. His parents are traveling and say, we ain't coming back. His grandmama say, I ain't getting on no plane for you. His family don't give a damn about him and what he got going on. So that means that's a red flag because, number one, he was raised in a cold, cold world. And his family has zero support for him and even got darn about what he's doing in his life. So I don't see if he got a family that won't be there for him. I don't feel like they taught him to be there for other people. And I doubt if he's going to be there for you, ma'am. So I feel like this lady is going to be tortured from the beginning of the show to the end of the show until she runs off in tears. I feel like this one is not going to match out at all. Or it could be that he came from a family that they're not as bad as we think they are, which I doubt. But he is the butthole in the family, and he don't show up for them, and he don't attend their events. So they say, why should we attend yours? Screw you. Either way, that's not going to work out for this young lady, Marissa, who actually does seem like she's a warm and caring person. Marissa is, what are my notes on Marissa? I don't have any on her. That's funny. So I don't even know what her job is or her age either. But she seemed like a sweet girl. And she seemed like her family is sweet. So maybe I'll pick up more of who she is later on. But I don't have any notes by her name. That's crazy. Okay, so let's see. Who else do I have? My next couple, Felipe and Tori. Felipe is, of course, the Latin man, and Tori is the other lady. Tori is a 32-year-old marketing director. Okay, and Felipe, he is a restaurant manager. Seemed like he was a party boy. Seemed like he was a F-boy. But he seems like he's fun, but he's very family oriented. He come from a warm, loving family. So I feel like he have it in him to be warm and loving. And he likes to have fun and dance and have a good time. And he's a manager of a restaurant. So he seems like he's going to be able to provide for her. And she seems like she's a really good sweetheart. She is a 32-year-old marketing manager. So she's financially stable. And she seems like she really wants to be loved. And she's a caretaker. And she comes from a loving family. I feel like this is going to be one of the successful couples. And I feel like they're going to enjoy each other and have a good time and be warm. Didn't really have a red flag with him except that he wasn't on time for the meetings because he was partying. But he seems really enchanted by her. And I feel like he will stop partying for her. And I did like, it was a very positive thing that when they cut the cake and where he's from, they give the cake to the most important person. And until this point, it has been his mother. And I feel like that was very healthy that he gave it to his wife. She expected him to give it to his mother. The mother looked like she was expecting a cake. But that is a very good standard for him to set. Because especially if you are a boy mom and you've been a mama's boy, he needs to come out the gate letting his mother know, this is my wife. And mothers, I think boy moms have a really hard time with this, learning that you're not number one in his life anymore. I had a mama's boy and I've been a boy mom. But at no time did I ever think that I was going to come before his wife when he got married. You're now number 2. Accept that role. But you are irreplaceable. She can be replaced. So you don't have to, in his mind, you're there to stay. So there's no need for the moms who have boy moms and they've been mama's boys their whole life. Because because your sons do put you on a pedestal. I do have a son that's a boy mom. They put you on a pedestal and they worrying about you when they ain't got, you don't know why this child is so worried about you, but that's how boys are with their mothers. And so sometimes the moms feel slighted when she's no longer number one, but it's okay, because as long as you remember, you're not replaceable. He might divorce her in 5 years. You will never be replaced. And hopefully most boy moms will go on to support the young lady and just, make sure that as long as she's a good person and she really loves your son, you're not in competition with this girl. And I feel like his mom accepted that, but she was also sensitive to the fact that his mom was losing number one place, and she passed her cake that he gave her on to the mom. And the mom was appreciative of that. That, I'm not trying to, kick you out and replace you. You're still his mom. So I feel like this couple is off to a very healthy start. Let me see. The next couple, another favorite couple of mine. This is probably my favorite couple, Mecca and Jolie. They are black, so I'm going to be with them to the end. I feel like the reason the matchmakers put them together is because they matched on a need to fill a broken home in their past. They have broken homes and an absent parent, and I feel like that's a void in their life that's huge for both of them, to be rejected by a parent. And I feel that them trying to fill that need is a bond. Also, I believe their lifestyles are compatible. Even though she is a singer, a songwriter, she does makeup, she's very artistic, and she's into the arts. He, first off, his name is Mecca, he is 28, they're both 28, and he came off as a porta potty cleaner. This turns out is a family business. So I understand him now, why he's a porta potty cleaner. Who goes to look for this as a job? I wouldn't even apply for this as a job if I was unemployed. So it's a family business, so I understand that. And it does not necessarily mean that he's got low ambition, because he's also a model and he's also into catering. These are also arts, culinary arts, modeling industry. So they are match up artistically. And she said a deal breaker for her was him having no drive and ambition. The fact that he wants to model and cater also shows that he has ambition, but he has ambitions on his own, and he doesn't care what he has to do to pay the bills, including the family porta potty business. So I feel like these two are matched in lifestyle, and they're also able to maybe feel each other's trauma. They have the potential to form a trauma bond as well. And so I think right now they're my favorite couple. After them, I think Felipe and Tori. And hopefully if the older black couple, is able to get past her sapiosexuality, Sean and Nikki, they're probably going to be my top 3 favorite couples. Okay, the next couple, there are 7. The next couple is Nikki and Courtney. This is the weakest link here to me. Besides that first one, Adam. Adam's not going to make it. That's what I'm here to tell you. Adam's not going to make it because he's red pill. He's a control freak, and he wants to play the piano every time you see him. Let me see. However, back to the MAGA couple, Nick and Courtney. This guy's been on 4 dating shows. That's my red flag for him, number 1. And I believe they said one of them was RuPaul. So are you a cross-dresser or what? I don't know, but I'll wait to see how that unfolds. But he's been on 4 dating shows. This would be his 5th, and it's a marriage show. So hopefully that's the end of his rounds. Hopefully he was just having fun while dating, and he just went on TV with it. And hopefully he's not an addict to reality TV. But I believe that they were matched because they have a deep need to be wanted. And for some reason, she has a fear that men are going to get bored with her and leave her. I don't know who created that fear in her. I wouldn't think that it's her parents, because they're still together. And her dad never abandoned her. So I don't know why she had this huge abandonment scar. But she is of deep fear, because it was like the lady said, it was 3 hours in and you thinking that he's going to get bored with you already? He don't even know you to know if you're boring. So why are you afraid of that already? She's like, yeah, like it's real. That's in your head, ma'am. That's not real. And it's crazy. I mean, she's like a bodybuilder, and she's perfectly a physical specimen, and she's cute in the face. So you would think that this is a confident woman, but she's not. So to me, she's hyper insecure. And so I don't know how that's going to play out, but I feel like this is probably the second weakest link in their couples. I don't think they're going to make it, but they are a MAGA couple. but they're not the religious MAGAs. They think church is cute, but we ain't going like that. And so, yeah, I don't have a lot of high hopes for them. Although she presented to be pleasant, he presented to be pleasant. They're attracted to each other, and things are going along well. We'll see how it goes, but I don't think it's going very far. I don't think they stay married. Let me see. Couple number 5, Michelle and Cameron. Michelle and Cameron. Michelle is a program manager. She's 34. This is the Asian lady. Now, on reality TV shows, the Asian women do not fare well. And for much as Kevin Samuels and all the black MAGAs have said that black women are the least desirable women, I actually think it's Asian women. These Asian women get dumped by the white men. I don't see them going for black men. But maybe that's their problem. Black men don't take anything except for black women in general. But the Asian women don't do well. They usually get dumped first. When they're on Love Island, they get dumped first. On most of these other reality shows, the Asian women don't do well. This little Asian lady is Vietnamese, and she's very cute in the face. She cries a lot. That's my red flag for her. She's a crybaby. I personally find that annoying, but maybe Cameron doesn't. But I will tell you this, Cameron was visibly unimpressed when he saw her. And he seemed like he didn't even want to talk to her that much at the wedding. He was going all over the place, socializing with everybody else. His friends telling him the stories about him that you entertain women with when you just met him. He seemed very uninterested in this lady. And he was unimpressed. He's the only man that turned around and did not smile, break out in a big smile when he saw the lady. He was the only one. And so, but it seemed like towards the end of the evening, he was there rubbing her arm and trying to talk to her. But I think he's trying to talk himself into it and make himself be interested. And the amount of physical distance he puts between them is present all the time. This man do not really like this lady. But I can see why they put them together. For one, I thought it was going to be because she was Asian. He wasn't really checking for her. But he's got a sister that looks like his parents adopted an Asian girl. So he should not be turned off physically by looking at Asians. So I feel like that's why they picked her for him. Because she's Asian and he's got an Asian sister. And because he's a very intentional man. He really does want to be married. And he's moving with that intentionality. And that indicates a level of commitment. And he wants to have kids. She wants to have kids to the point where she froze her eggs at 26. Okay. At 34. And she's 34 now. So she's been serious about a family and kids and being married and commitment. And so that's the common theme that they have. But I actually have an X by their name as well. I don't think this couple is going to last just because his level of disinterest. So if anything at all happens that's a red flag for him, I think he's out the door. Because I think he had to really work himself up into, the idea of going through with this with her. He was totally unimpressed. I don't know what he was looking for, but I have a feeling that he's one of these men that's also emotionally unavailable. Because there's no reason why otherwise he would not be interested. He would not have been married by now. And so, yeah, I don't think this couple is actually going to make it. And my last couple that I have, the 7th couple, because I did it out of order. My 6th couple was Sean and Nikki, the older black couple. But now my 7th one is Caitlyn and Devon. Okay. They matched together physically and with athleticism. And it seems like their sense of humor and family warmth is a common theme with them. They got humor that seemed like it matched up well. And their families, the family dynamic seems to be the same between his family and her family. Her goddamn daddy was a big red flag for me. He could not stand being the center of attention. He could not stand. He more than once made this wedding about him. He stood up talking first before the justice of the peace and had to enforce the fact that he was not against this. Anybody ask him that? But he is just butthurt that this man didn't come for him and beg for his daughter's hand. He wanted to pass judgment on that boy. And he couldn't stand that was taken away from him. To the point where he wasn't going to walk her down the aisle. He refused to walk her down the aisle. But he shows up lets everybody know how much he disapproves, and then in the end he bestows the majesty of his well wishes. But I think that Devon handled it well. He said, I still want your approval. And he still went up to the dad and went to him, and shook his hand and all that, and let him know that he's a stand-up guy. He intends to be stand-up to his daughter, and I still want your approval. So he seemed like he was placated by that to a certain extent. But her goddamn daddy is a big red flag. But I also do not believe that he will impose on her marriage and her relationship. But he is butthurt that that man did not ask him for his daughter's hand. So I feel like they're gonna have to do another ceremony down the road, some kind of reception or something, where he formally asked for this man's approval for his daughter's hand. But as far as athletes go, I felt like she would make a good athlete's wife, and I feel that she would be a good team player for him. And he does seem like he's very warm and loving and willing, which is rare in athletes who are typically selfish, self-centered, and whoremongers and whoremasters, whatever you want to call them. So I feel like this could be a good match. I like this match. So overall, I think they have done better already than the previous coaches and therapists did for the past 2 years in a row. Because there's no reason why so many of those couples they selected should have been failing at the rate they were failing. You are professionals. You have a whole database. You have a whole tool of matching people that you use. There's no reason why those last 2 seasons should have went the way they did. And I feel like this is an attempt for Peacock to correct it. And hopefully they can. Because so far, most of the couples do look promising. I do see 3 red flags. 3 that I flat out think is going to fail. I think Adam, who plays the piano too much, is going to fail. I think Michelle, the Asian, and this tall white man is going to fail. And most likely, I feel like that MAGA couple is going to fail. Primarily because they're MAGA. But let me know what you think. Which one are you betting your money on? My favorite couple, I will say right now, is the young black couple, Bella Joy and Mecca. Who's your favorite couple? Which one you think is going to make it? Which one you think is not going to make it? Comment below. Hit the like button. Subscribe. All the above. And I will see you soon for something. I think I'm going to do Housewives as well. Let me know if you want to see Housewives.